Hello everybody and welcome back once again to the Final Fantasy XIII walkthrough. We are just starting out with actually the very first mission, and this one is called Pond Scum. The mark here is called the Ecto Pudding, and then it actually shows you where the enemy is at as well. I always generally always open up the menu and just to show you guys where these are at. So hopefully I'll end up doing that, as opposed to making myself look like a big fat liar. But I think this first one is actually here in the big, or this big area of the Archilt Steppe. And it's gonna sound so funny when I say that, because normally, and again, I've realized that I've always said it wrong, but I always used to call it the Arclight Steppe. And again, I don't know, it was easier to say for one thing. But anyways, oh gosh, yeah, and here I get into a battle with these guys. I don't think I end up finishing this out. I'm pretty sure I end up letting deal with these guys. It's, the Behemoth the King is actually fairly nasty. And yep, so there you go. I decided I wasn't going to be dealing with him for the time being, so excuse me. But alright, so let's swing a little wider hopefully this time, and try to avoid those guys. Now here there's obviously a treasure sphere just kind of hanging out in the middle of nowhere. Now I don't know how I was able to grab that without getting into combat right away, but anyways, it was kind of funny. Alright, so these are the Gorgonopsid. Wow, okay. Yeah, so, that's kind of a mouthful. These guys are the, I don't know, I guess I really don't know how to describe these guys. This is a really common, really easy enemy to fight here. There's nothing really fancy about them. They don't do all that fantastic of damage, and you know, it's not like they have a crazy amount of health either, so they're kind of a staple of the Archilt Steppe. Man, it just sounds so weird saying it like I'm probably still not even saying it right, but anyways. So what are we looking for here? The Ecto Pudding, I think it was. Alright. This is not quite the right spot, but it is up here a little bit. There he is. You can see him up on the hill. And it's actually not a bad idea to save your game right there, especially if you want to try to get a 5-star rating on these. So there is a, I believe it's an achievement. I think it's called that. I think it's an achievement. There might even be another additional reward. I'll have to actually look that up, but again, there is an achievement there for getting 5 stars on all of the marks. So, you know, again, if that's something that you want to try for, go right ahead. I would actually suggest kind of not really worrying about it right away. There's certain marks where I kind of tried a little bit harder to obtain those 5 stars, and reason being is it would normally be for something that the Seath Stone was like maybe somewhere out of the way, or you know, there was maybe a lot of travel time in between where you pick up the mission and where you complete it at, you know, so that sort of thing. But especially if these are your first marks, you know, you've never, or if this is maybe even like your first playthrough, don't worry about it. Just try to get these marks down, because you'll get you get normal battle rewards, you know, just like all the other enemies. But you'll also get a one-time reward as well for completing these. Some of them are really good, some of them not so much. Some of them are just kind of like, whatever. But I'll try to point out the ones that I feel are really good. You know, it's not like they're like horrible by any means. It's just a lot of them I don't feel are maybe as useful as others. See you, Daddy, now. Again, I guess take that as you wish. Excuse me. And the neat thing also that you have to keep in mind is so actually that energy sash is actually really good. the other thing you got to keep in mind is you can always redo these. You can literally spam these and do them as many times as you want. So you don't have to 5-star it on the first try. You know, if you're only able to get a 1-star, don't worry about it. Come back later and try again later. But all right, so that prompts us, you know, being that we've got the first one done there, that opens up the second one, and you'll see the these actually, or these Seath stones actually become active then. If a Seath stone is kind of just laying on the ground, that means it's not active yet, and you can't interact with it. And usually that means that well, I shouldn't say usually, that always means that you have to complete another mark first. So, obviously in the case of this one, we needed to complete the first mark. So, now that we've got that done, we can continue on and make our way to the next mark. Now, I'm kind of just gonna go, I don't know if I would say aimlessly. I'm going to actually kind of traverse the arc out step here, more based on marks. And you know, if you want, you can kind of just explore. It really actually helps if you've got a map. There's this place is absolutely humongous, so it can be a little bit. Number one, it's time consuming just to traverse, and you know, there's actually a lot of really powerful enemies. Generally, the big Adamantoids, I believe is their family name. You're gonna want to avoid those for the time being. Those are extremely difficult to take down. So again, you know, I would avoid those for the time being. Especially, like, this is a good example right here. I think this is technically an Adamantulid. Probably not saying that right, but you know, just avoid them for the time being. They're just going to be especially more trouble than they're worth, and most likely you'll not be able to defeat them anyway. So again, just avoid them for the time being. Now, here's the second mark. The Gorgonopsid here is obviously the regular enemy, and then the Rudidamu or whatever is the other, the named monster here. And obviously he's going to be the one that you actually kind of, I wouldn't say get credit for. You actually have to kill all of these guys. There's no way to you know, get a battle here without getting the Gorgonopsids too. But anyways, you know, same strategy really as earlier. Oh boy, I don't really like this paradigm I have set up there. I think I messed up here.
New strategy.
The correct paradigms. This area. Really, I tend to use the Ravager Commando Medic instead of anything that's got a threat hole in it. So, you know, there's certain times here and there where I will, for the most part, for the time being anyway, I'm not going to do that. But there it is. All right, so there's the Rudidamu or whatever. And only 4-starred this one. Again, I'm not going to stress about it too much. The really great thing about, especially these first two, is obviously our travel time in between these stones is, you know, extremely low. So, you know, it's not something to really worry about. And then we got a Cobaltite. So, well, you know, once again, now I've already farmed the ever-living crap out of Cobaltite, and I think I had like nearly 30 in my inventory. So, for me, this mark wasn't all that great, or that wasn't that great of a reward. But, you know, it's not the worst thing ever though either. You know, like I said earlier, now every time you complete one of these marks, those are one time. That Cobaltite for that mission, and then the was it the energy stash, I think, for the first mission. Those are one time only rewards. So again, any subsequent times that you initiate that mission and defeat that enemy there, you will not get that one time reward. Again, but that being said, some of these marks will actually drop really good items, and I will point those out, or the ones that I feel are worth, you know, maybe farming. There's some really specific ones that end up being really nice. But for the time being, I guess we don't have to really worry about that. That'll probably be in either the next video, actually probably 2 videos from now. I think I find one of the marks that's really, really nice just for farming. But anyways, just gonna keep taking care of some of these enemies that are basically guarding treasure spheres, you know, as we travel around. So unfortunately, you know, it's not the Argyle step is a little bit too big, so I'm not going to be able to you know, fit like all the treasure spheres into one video. And actually there's just a couple that my party, even as leveled as I am, or as much CP as I've got, or I maybe should just say as developed as my characters are. There's still some treasure chests that I'm not going to be able to get at this point in time. There's just two. There's actually quite a few treasure spheres that are guarded by the adamantulid type enemies. So you know, again, we're not going to be able to obtain those for quite some time yet. But never fear, all in good time. Zephyr ring. Those are pretty okay, I guess. I think those ones might, the Zephyr ring might be one of the items that you can't get many of. I'm not sure. I vaguely remember the like elemental resistance type accessories. I think a lot of them, if not all of them, are one time only. So again, you know, I brought that up in, I'm sure, one of the first or earliest videos there. You generally don't want to get rid of those. You will most likely regret it. But anyways, all right. So we're actually going to move on here, and you can see the. So there's kind of an interesting thing that goes on here. You can follow the quest marker, and you know, kind of continue on your way, but you'll actually miss some cutscenes and whatnot in this area coming up. So obviously I am going to keep heading this way because that's where the marks are taking me, and I would definitely recommend doing the same. Again, if you continue on with the story and you know, continue towards the the quest marker, there's a chance that you'll end up missing a couple of cutscenes. So again, I would say that it's a good idea to come this way first, actually. So alright, so we need to keep heading this way. Unfortunately, I really hate traveling this path, but you know, I guess it is. You just kind of got to deal with it at least once or twice. The interesting thing here too, and one of the other reasons why I really gotta stress taking care of as many of these marks right now as you can, is just the fact that the Seath Stones, some of them, not all of them mind you, but some of them actually end up becoming kind of like teleport points. And so you can, you know, you can teleport in. There's kind of like you can almost describe it as a network, or a teleportation network. How about that? That sounds good. But you know, once you've got a couple of those stones activated, they will function as teleporters, and you'll be able to kind of just zap between them very quickly. And obviously, that will cut down your travel time here in Gran Pulse greatly. So again, I definitely recommend taking care of that. You know, there may be some marks that you're not able to take care of. So I definitely remember running into one that I found extremely hard. And I'm not sure if that's this video or the next. We'll obviously have footage of that. But boy, I had a really difficult time with it. So, anyways. You know, this little corridor here is the same enemies, the Flan and the, what was it, the Elarine or however you say those goofy looking leech things. But yeah, nothing fancy there. But you know, once again, I just really have to recommend coming this way, taking care of these marks while you can. And I mean, I understand wanting to rush through the end of the game, and you very well can do that too. You know, you absolutely do not have to come this way. If you just want to continue along with the story, then you know, by all means, be my guest. But obviously, I'm not. I tried to kind of go out of my way to do some of the side questy type stuff when I could. But yeah, all right. Anyways, let's keep on moving. Gotta keep on moving on. Or is it keep on keeping on, right? Or I don't know, something like that. I'm not a big sayings guy. I'm pretty horrible. I'm not even sure if that one was popular really during my generation. I don't know. Who knows? Who even knows these things? Crazies. Alright. So, you know, one other thing I really gotta point out, and I think it's kind of funny. It's always funny when I bring up like glaring issues, I suppose. And number one, that's right now you having Lightning as the party leader. In this again, you know, I've brought it up before. It really came back to bite me a couple of times. But she's not a very good party leader right now. I really feel like I mean, especially with being that I'm using Saz and Snow, literally either of those two are better party leaders than her right now. And again, that's really just because of the HP total. I mean, Snow just towers over everybody else as far as HP. So he just, to be honest, for the time being anyway, he really makes a better party leader now. Again, that's going to change in some. Well, for specific reasons. Number one, the characters all get a maneuver or a move, depending on their the role that they're in, and it'll take up all your ATB gauge slots. You know, like I said, everybody's gonna move, and it depends on what role they're in. But you know that move will actually only ever be used as long as you are controlling that character. So you have to be the party leader.
Wisdom does come with age.
Obviously, the CPU will not ever, or the AI, however you want to call it, will never actually actively use that ability. So again, if you want to use those super moves, you can kind of call them. You have to be the party leader at the time. So again, later on, it may be a better idea to swap up who your party leader is, but for the time being, there's really no reason to be using somebody like Lightning. Again, Snow or Saz would have been a better choice for me. Anyways, probably pronunciations of these enemy names out on the web somewhere. I refuse.
Easy.
I'm okay being ignorant to enemy names. I'm okay with that. Alrighty, getting really close to the edge here. So, actually, I forgot to mention that previous there in the kind of where Hope got his Eidolon at. There's obviously a treasure chest that I grabbed, and it's actually not available until, you know, your second visit. Yes, just massive. Wow, that's, yeah. Probably saying that wrong too. Just horrible with pronunciations. Alright, looks like you got a little splice in my video here. Probably took a break for the night. And here I've got just a little bit more footage. I'm not sure if I took care of this mark before I saved or not. I'm betting I did though. Let's hope so anyway. Yeah, one of these guys. Yuck. I think these are new. These are new enemies. But nothing fancy though. I mean, I vaguely remember these guys being able to summon though, so kind of just like the enemies that we fought there in the 5th arc. I believe it was the imps were able to summon the Ahriman enemy, and you'll actually that'll kind of be a theme for these You know, I don't know what this enemy type is technically called, but a lot of times they will be able to summon allies to battle. Sometimes those allies can be brutal, sometimes not, but you know, hopefully you're able to just take them down extremely quickly. A lot of times, you know, well, Relentless Assault did fairly good there, but that won't always be the case. Alright, so here's our mark. I think it actually would have been a better idea for me to save up there, because this stone obviously was an extremely long walk, and I don't believe I 5-starred this. Now, I could be wrong, but if I remember right, I didn't. But we'll see how it all turns out. Well, maybe I did. I don't know. This is going really well. Got him staggered really quickly. So I'd be a little surprised if I wasn't able to. Yeah, this video is really getting close to the end. So, anyways, yeah, boy, I better just cut the commentary here. I'm sure I must just finish him off and then save my game. So, anyways, I hope this video was helpful. Hope you guys are, you know, enjoying the videos, and keep joining me for more. All right, so thanks for watching.